They found the brochure for the resort town of Keddie in a gas station, and my mom, desperate for a fresh start after the divorce, thought a cabin in the woods was just the adventure we needed. Cabin 28 was all we could afford. It was shabby, with mismatched furniture and a smell of damp pine and old cigarettes, but the lake was beautiful. The first night, my younger brother and sister, Tina and Rick, claimed the bedroom at the back. I, being the oldest at 15, got a cot in the living room, right next to the sliding glass door that led to the porch. The first unease came from the neighbors. The man in cabin 26, a guy named Marty, gave me the creeps. He had this hollow look in his eyes, and he was always hanging out with these two other men who seemed just as shifty. They'd sit on his porch, drinking and staring over at our cabin. My mom told me I was being judgmental, that they were just rough-looking locals. But the feeling wouldn't go away. The night it happened, we were all wound up. My mom's friend Sue had come over with her son Justin. We'd stayed up late watching TV. I finally fell asleep on my cot, the flickering blue light of the television dancing on my eyelids. I was woken by a sound I couldn't place. Not a scream, but a thick, guttural choke, followed by a heavy thud from my mom's bedroom. My first thought was that she'd fallen out of bed. "Mom?" I whispered into the dark. The only answer was the low hum of the refrigerator. I sat up. The TV was off. The house was too quiet. That's when I saw the shadow. A man's silhouette, tall and broad, standing in the hallway leading to the bedrooms. He was just standing there, perfectly still. I froze, my breath caught in my throat. I was 15, but in that moment, I was a terrified little kid. I slowly, silently, lay back down and pulled the thin blanket over my head, praying it was a dream. I must have passed out from fear, because the next thing I knew, gray morning light was filtering through the blanket. The house was still silent. I pushed the blanket off my face. The living room was empty. The shadow was gone. A desperate, hopeful thought sprang into my mind. A nightmare. It had to be. I got up and tiptoed to my mom's room. The door was ajar. I pushed it open. The scene is burned into my memory. The bed was a tangled mess. And there was so much blood. On the walls, the bedding, the floor. My mom and Sue were gone. I ran to the back bedroom. My brother Rick was there, also gone. The room was a horror. But Tina, my 12-year-old sister Tina's bed was empty. She was just gone. The police came. The investigation was a mess. They never found Tina. The prime suspects were Marty from cabin 26 and his friends. But there was never enough evidence. The case went cold for decades. The twist, the thing that finally broke me, came 37 years later. They reopened the case based on new evidence. They found some of the original evidence misplaced in an old sheriff's office storage room. And with it, they found a recording. A tape from a police interview with a witness from that night, a man who lived nearby. On the tape, he said he'd heard screams coming from our cabin, but he also said something else. He said he saw 3 men carrying what looked like a large rolled-up carpet out of cabin 28 and putting it into a car. He described the men. It was Marty and his friends. The police had this tape all along. They had the witness. And they did nothing. The true horror wasn't just the murder. It was the decades of knowing that the truth had been sitting in a box, forgotten while we lived with the ghost of that night.